When I think of home, what comes to mind for me is the two-story red brick home on Paisley Street that I lived in so long with my two brothers and my two sisters and mom and dad. I picture the magnets on the fridge in the kitchen that held up all the schoolwork that we brought home. I have memories as well of one time where looking onto the back porch and seeing my mom and dad sitting there and knowing something was wrong. I was maybe 12 or 13 and just knowing something was wrong. It was a short while later that they split up and a piece of what felt like home to me was being lost. I'm certain that it was the pain that first led me to seek some form of escape. I didn't like how I felt, and it was really important to me at the time that I felt differently. I didn't come from a family where there was abuse, emotionally or physically. I didn't come from a family where there was alcoholism or addiction. I didn't come from a family where there was neglect. This least likely candidate to end up all messed up was a guy standing on a toboggan hill in grade 9 with a group of friends and encountering someone passing something around. That became the first time. And once that line of permission was crossed, there was no turning back. I couldn't look in the mirror. I couldn't go outside. I didn't want to see people anymore because I no longer knew who I was. My mom is from the States. We would spend our summers in New Jersey, lots of which was spent on the shore. I remember wading out waist deep and chest deep and seeing these waves coming. And I remember the excitement, the thrill of being hit by big waves. What happened right after the wave hit is what reminds me a little bit of what my experience with addiction was like. I was suddenly underwater. I was being tossed and turned and spinning. I didn't know which way was up. There was a lot of debris. There was a lot of stuff happening. And before I knew it, I was standing up again, and there was another wave coming. I remember my first few nights at 174. I felt like a fish out of water. I remember crying myself to sleep for several nights in a row, wondering what was going to become of me, how this was going to be any different than any other time. Sitting down with a wonderful man, my counselor at the time, Rick, who set me up with a unique piece of camping gear. He put a backpack on me and filled it with some heavy objects and had me understand that when my day starts and the way my day had started for so long, that backpack was full before I even got out of bed. And I remember my eyes, kind of the eyes of my heart, like inside, opening up and thinking, wow, it's no wonder I've been high for as long as I have. The tools that I was given at 174 are tools that I still practice today. I had an opportunity to explore relaxation and meditation and what stillness felt like, what it felt like to slow down and just be rather than always doing. The spiritual side of my life needed so desperately to be nurtured and developed and grown. And the sense of connectedness that came from that, I can hardly explain. My focus has shifted from helplessness and hopelessness to believing that my future can be different than my past. It's been a dream of mine since the day I left high school to go to school again, and today I've graduated. I got that diploma from high school, and now I've moved on to university, and I'm studying and learning and growing and evolving. And recovery today looks like freedom. That's what recovery looks like. Freedom to be who I am, where I am, when I am, and how I am, each and every moment of every day.